Kal Kadosh, Boker Or, I wanted to share with you an incredible idea. Listen to this. The Rishonim speak about, in this week's parasha, where we're talking about korbanot. Now, obviously, there's a lot of what to talk about in the korbanot, or some people say very little what to talk about the different sacrifices. But there's a very interesting mishnah, a very interesting mitzvah, which is called semicha. What exactly is semicha? Where you come and you lean on the animal. Now, technically speaking, the leaning on the animal must be done with two hands. It says though in the pasuk, "V'samach yado al rosh haolah," when you're going to lean your hand on the head of the olah, "V'nirtza lo lechaper alav." So the Rishonim, this is already, they come and they say, 1 second, why does it say "V'samach yado"? It should say "yadav." You should lean two hands. So Rabbeinu Bachya comes and after asking the question, he comes and he answers, it's coming yado to exclude a shaliach, which means even though usually shliach shel adam kimoto, which means that you could always get a shaliach to do whatever you want, right? He could do it for you. However, though, in our case, it says no, a shaliach is not supposed to do the leaning for you. You must do it yourself. Okay? And therefore, it cannot be done with any type of a help. And immediately after the semicha, they do the shchita, and you come, you do it two hands, and it's on the head of the animal, as it says, a rosh haolah. It can't be on the neck or on the sides, v'chule v'chule. So now, what we have to understand is, why is it that out of all the mitzvot, semicha cannot be done with shlichut? Meaning, you can make a shaliach to do many things. A messenger. Why can't you get a messenger to come and to lean on your animal? You can't come to the Beit HaMikdash. Why can't you just get a messenger? So the Ramban, we have to understand that the Ramban is going to come and he's going to explain what is the entire concept of korbanot. And listen to what he says. Since a person's actions, they cause a person to sin, whether it's going to be their thought, their mouths, their speech, and their actions, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted that when we sin, we have to bring a korban. We're going to lean, to do semicha on the korban, and that is going to be for what? Of the action. Yitvadeh bepiv, you have to do vidui, to confess. That's going to be the mouth. And then they're going to burn in a fire the intestines, and which are they're going to be the klayot, right? The kidneys and the insides, which are the klei machshava v'atava. The kraim, the legs are parallel to the hands and the feet that they're doing it. And they have to throw the blood on the mizbeach, which is connected to the blood of the human being. And really, they have to throw all the blood and everything. Right? But nefesh tacha nefesh, one soul for another soul. We're going to give the soul of the animal instead of the human being. And therefore it comes out that the smicha, which is the leaning on the animal, is actually because of the action of the avirah. Now, how do we know this? So the Ramban says that the word korban comes from kirva, to become close. Lekarev, kiruv, to become close. And therefore, if a person comes and they sin, their obligation is to come closer to Hashem. Every type of a sin causes distance from Hashem. And that's the inyan of doing teshuvah, to go back to the prior place. So if so, you have to do it yourself. You yourself, you have to come and you do the smicha in order to become clinging to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So smicha comes from the lashon of samuch, be close, just like korban is lekarev, to become close, that you're coming closer to the concept of what you're doing. So because of that, now we understand why you can't do it to a shaliach. You can't tell a shaliach to become closer to Hashem. You have to become closer to Hashem. So you yourself have to come and become closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But there's something even a little bit deeper. And listen to this. The Rabbeinu Bachya in Chuvot HaLevot says that there's 10 leshonot of bitachon. There are 10 languages of bitachon. And he comes and he says, right, brings down all the 10. And he comes and he says that when we're going to explain semicha in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, relying upon Hashem, he says the explanation is that en adam yachol lismoch al acher imeno somech lav. You can never rely upon someone unless, meaning you can't be somech on someone unless you rely upon him. Right? If you know that you can't rely upon him, you're not even going to bother. It doesn't make sense. So obviously it means that you have some type of there's a reason for it. So the Meshech Chochmah comes and he says, "Uvot tidbak," you have to cling to Hashem. according to the way that you're going to cling to Hashem, that's how you're going to come and you're going to be somech on Hashem. Meaning we want you to rely upon Hashem, bitachon in Hashem. How do you do that? You have to realize that you're going to have reliance upon HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the Malbim comes and he says, what's the difference between a mish'an or mish'enet, which is also support, and a smicha? So he says smicha is with all your strength. As it says, smicha bechol kocho bainan, the Gemara says in Chagiga. So therefore, but mishan is only with a little bit of the, meaning if you're leaning upon something, it's only part of the body. But if I move it away, you might fall, right? Or not. It all depends. Smicha, you're completely full, 100% leaning upon it. So if I move it away, you'll completely fall. So therefore, he comes and he says, that's the reason why HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted us to do smicha, which means we rely 100% on HaKadosh Baruch Hu and on nothing else. Bechol kocho, with all our strength. And that's what he says in the Chovot HaLevavot, Shara Bitachon, Perek Gimel. Shiftach el Elokav levado, you have to have bitachon in Hashem by himself, meaning not bidvarim, shu chayav liftoach alav, and everything that you have to have bitachon in him. Val ishatav alav acher, never have bitachon in anybody else. Which means, lo yiftach gam b'Hashem v'gam echad, meaning don't have bitachon, not in Hashem and also your rich uncle. No, or on your parents. Ki bazeh shu mishatef elav mishu acher, hu me'abed bitchono be'elokav, because if you're going to put somebody else into it, so you're losing your bitachon in Hashem. And therefore he comes and he says, "V'davar yadua, it's known, shemishu mimaneh shnei memunim o yoter lemaleh ze tafkid." If you're going to put two people in charge of a job, so therefore there's no value to it. V'chol sheken another more, so shemishu boteach kama elokim v'gavazuto, also on Hashem and not somebody else with it, shebitchono yares, it's going to completely get destroyed. So therefore, what are we trying to actually come and say? We're trying to say that this is actually based upon a Gemara in Eruvin. The Gemara Ruvin says that when you have a pot which belongs to two partners, it'll never get hot and never get cold. Why? Because since each one, like the Maharsha explains, each one is dependent upon the friend, so it comes out that nobody's going to do anything. My partner will do it. The other one, my other partner will do it. They always throw it on each other, and therefore nothing will ever get done. And that's the same thing to do with bitachon and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A person has to have a Kadosh Baruch Hu, bitachon in him, bechol kocho smicha, 100% bitachon only in Hashem and not in anybody else. Because as long as he's not going to depend 100% upon Hashem, it's actually stopping the smicha in Hashem, and therefore it's keilu that now he's not going to have the same thing. He doesn't get it, and that's what Rabbeinu Bachya explains by Yitomim Valmanot, this entire concept. Rabbeinu Bachya, he says, why is it that when it says that you shouldn't come and afflict, whether it's a yatom or a mana, he says v'itachel lefarish bazeh, because derech bnei adam shem aluvim b'zeh davar sheyeh, right? They always come and they're always going to have people. They're going to go to people to help and save them. The yatom v'almana, they don't have anybody, so therefore HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the only one that saves them, and therefore they put their bitachon 100% in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and therefore HaKadosh Baruch Hu will come and He will save them. And be'emet, when we're talking about this concept, this is what the mashal that they give, that somebody that has bitachon in his friend, that he's going to do something, he says it's different than somebody that he comes and he says that he wants somebody to do something. He says, Zegufa mashim chayev, meaning, if you know that you're the only one that's able to do it, and they put all your bitachon in you to do it, you're going to do it. And the reason why is because it's kilu, you know that they're relying upon you. They're depending upon you. And if it's not you, it won't be done at all. So if you're going to do it. He says, but if you're going to come and you're going to say, you get a few people to do it. So one boy will say, listen, you know what, today, right now, I want to have a game. So don't worry, the other guy will come and I'll come another time. And the boy will come and say, but you know what, right now I have to do homework. Hey, and then it'll never get done. The exact same thing. So the Chavetz Chaim comes and he says, Alachat kama v'chama, kal v'chomer shebenog shekal v'chomer, Kadosh Baruch Hu be'atzmo, which is the mekor rachamim v'achemla. When a person comes and he puts his bitachon in him 100%, for sure Kadosh Baruch Hu will come and save him from everything. Right? And therefore, my brothers, even though now we have so many different sufferings and everything, we have to be mitchazek be'bitachon and HaKadosh Baruch Hu with all our hearts, and then for sure HaKadosh Baruch Hu will come and He will save us. Right? Because we see that the bitachon of Lot, right? Look what happened with Lot with the two malachim. Right? They come to his house, and the people come and they want to kill Lot. Lot comes outside and he tells them, listen, don't do anything. They came to me. What does that mean? They put their bitachon in me that I'm going to protect them. And if you guys are going to do something to them, I can't. They put their bitachon in me. Which means that if we actually learn that when somebody puts his bitachon on someone, they're going to try to perform at their utmost. Kal v'chomer beno shel kal v'chomer, what it's going to be with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that if we put a true bitachon in Hashem, for sure HaKadosh Baruch Hu will come and He will save us. For sure HaKadosh Baruch Hu will come and take us out from all our suffering, B'ezrat Hashem.